All the characters in the story are over 18 years old. The days turned into weeks. I almost howled at night with grief. I felt and understood that a chasm had opened up between my wife and me, and with each new day of separation, I realized more and more clearly that I was losing her forever, that she would not return to me, and I did not need any other, and therefore I had to cling to the slightest reason to be near her, to talk to her. The attending physician answered me over and over again that she did not want to hear about me, and I got angry, promising to come with the prosecutor next time. Let him check if there were such wild orders in the hospital. Strangely, it worked. Bureaucratic formalism was on my side, and that's why it was me, my husband, who came to the hospital to get her. When Rebecca saw me, she stopped. I was disgusted with her. I could see it in her eyes. No, it would have been disgusting, but the drugs that she was generously stuffed with lowered the degree to unpleasant. She looked a little pale and half asleep. Walking up to the car, she greeted him colorlessly and got into the back seat. I was afraid to say too much, so the doctor instructed me because, according to him, I turned out to be the main irritant of his patient. And we set off. Did my things stay at the cottage? Yes, everything is there. Do you have water in your car? I'm thirsty. He silently stopped at a fairground pavilion near the road and silently went to get water. She drank greedily from a liter bottle, draining almost a third. We set off down the road again, no higher than 70. Rebecca was always annoyed by my daredevilism. They were silent again. I went to the highway. The speed is 95 to 100. Where are we going? Home. Where are the children? At the cottage. Take me to the cottage. I silently turned the car around, driving along a deserted road to the nearest solid gap. A shadow of a smile was reflected on her face. She liked my unprecedented complaisance. I looked at her in the mirror and wanted to hug her madly, but I was afraid of only one thing: whether she would stay with me or want to live separately from me. Finally, I couldn't stand it and said, "Olivia is very worried about you. And Alex? Also, but he is restrained in expressing emotions. They both seem to have matured in those days. They have freed themselves from their infantile nature, and now they reason quite like adults. At least I'm of some use. The greatest benefit for them will be to see you, to know that you are near. I'll tell you right away. I hate to see you. Okay, I won't bother my eyes. What you can't do for your beloved." His wife smiled wryly, and again we drove in silence for a long time. Remembering that our summer residents were not aware that we were going to them, I stopped the car so as not to annoy Rebecca by talking on the go and called my son. "Alex, turn on the boiler and start the bath. My mother and I are coming to you." His wife held out her hand. "Give me the phone." "Hello, kitten. Well, how are you without me?" "Me too. Soon. See you later. Bye." After that, a smile reigned on his wife's face, and we drove in silence again. Already at the entrance to the village, Rebecca asked to stop the car and took a pill. "I can't worry," she explained, and only positive emotions. The pill made her slightly inhibited and unperturbed again, and this condition of the children's mother was a little discouraged. She changed, as if steam had been released from her. My mom looked Rebecca up and down and was pleased with her genes. The first thing, of course, was to flush the hospital, and Olivia volunteered to go with her mom to wash up. Then they sat down at the table. My father was uncomfortable, but otherwise everyone was smiling and mostly silent. I dragged my bed into the children's room and spread the mattress in the same place where that ugly story happened. Being after the night shift, it turned out that I had not slept for almost 2 days, and even strong coffee did not help at the cottage. Kicking off his shoes, he lay down to try on the height of the pillow under his head, as if he had just fallen asleep. When I woke up, I found myself covered with a blanket. 6 in the morning, so I slept for 12 hours. The sun was rising and the fog was clearing. On the village street, he suddenly saw a lone figure and jumped out to her. "Rebecca, what are you doing here?" "I haven't had a man for a long time. I wanted to find someone," my wife replied in a colorless voice, almost like a robot. "Maybe I'll come over? I haven't had a woman in a long time." "No, I don't like you." "Okay, let's stand together. I'll wait for the woman, and you'll wait for the man." She shot me an angry look and went into the house, and I realized that now there was another problem. I had to change my wife's brain somehow. I didn't know how to do it yet. At lunch, my son came running and called me. Dad, hurry up, let's run. Feet in work pants and old boots. We reached the pond. Rebecca and 3 men were there. That's it. Prepare a camera on your phone. We come out from behind the tree. When I call them and they turn their faces, you take them off and go straight home without looking back. Describe the situation to your grandfather. Hey, who's that shouting? Come here. Thanks, it's recorded. I replied, putting my phone in my pocket. The one who threatened climbed up to the level of my old army boot, and I did not wait for the duel, but just hit. The other 2, at this time, having abandoned their prey, were already running along the shore in different directions. Why did you come? It's not enough for me. My wife expressed her displeasure calmly, unperturbed. The words of my beloved touched my soul, but I tried to keep my composure. We were walking along the path. I was behind her. And you said that there have been no men for a long time. A long time ago, 2 days ago. And I was waiting there for you to come. That's it. That's it. That's it. My girl, we're together now. See, everything is fine. Silly, are you with these on purpose so that I can come? I've come. Sobbing. She nodded her head in agreement and added almost in a whisper. I decided to give you a second chance. I understand that you just couldn't make it there, but here you are, and if you love me, you will definitely come. And you came, my beloved. From the childishly naive reasoning expressed by my wife, and her sincere faith in the miracle of the love call, tears involuntarily flowed from my eyes myself. She didn't cheat on me, either at the hospital or here. In her understanding, I had to feel that another man was with her and, jealous, if I love her, fly to her on those very wings and save her, and take her with me in a cozy and reliable embrace. The fact that I came to the hospital to pick her up and took her with me meant nothing to her. And now I came to her with my soul, at the call of her love for me, and by coming, I proved my love for her, and now we are reunited with our souls. So my father ran up with an axe in his hand. Come on, let's go inside. He began to hurry us up. Before people saw Rebecca like this, Rebecca has changed again. I suddenly became the center of the universe for her. She kept her loving eyes on me and often whispered, "Darling." This transformation amazed not only me, but everyone in our house. I returned to the house, and after that, Rebecca and I went to the sauna. There she told me about how she made love to several men at once. Are you crying? My wife was surprised. It's my joy, honey, that you are so smart, so caring and loving. My wife became sad, apparently realizing that I was not happy with her rich new experience with other men. Did you not like that I studied with others? I wanted to surprise you, Rebecca said in a sinking voice and sighed heavily. No, not at all. I'm sorry that I wasn't there with you. I wouldn't have been with you then. You weren't with me at all. And now I'm going to do it anyway, and with whom you say. Honey, I'll do whatever you want. It's completely dark outside. Did you go home? The kids are probably already worried that we've been here so long. No, they feel good. They're only thinking about each other right now. Well done. Good kids have grown up. I heard noises at night. I left the house. I look, and they are doing our business in the gazebo. And it's so good for them. Rebecca, but it's not good when a brother and sister do such things. Why? They're a part of you and me. A part of you loves me and we feel good. But they are a part of us, and the more of our love, the better for all of us. Realizing that an argument can only upset my wife, I replied like this. You know, I somehow didn't think about it. Maybe you're right. You see, and you agree with me. Rebecca was inspired. At home, they were already waiting for us at the table, and we began to drink tea. My theory seems to be working. And then we went to bed. I got up late in the morning. Everyone was already having breakfast in the living room. I remembered yesterday. It's absurd. So you can go crazy yourself. I looked sternly at my son and daughter. They immediately understood what I was talking about and blushed slightly, lowering their eyes. I decided to leave the conversation until I got home. We started packing up to return to the city. I have to go to work in the morning. There are less than 2 weeks left before the school year, and it is quite reasonable not to go back and forth, and I was afraid to leave alone with Rebecca and leave our children here. reasonably believing that they would not stop there. It is possible that this is not correct from the point of view of education, but they do not cause horror in such a relationship with my son and daughter, such that a nightmare is a nightmare. So I decided that in a month, the children who have gained enough experience should be returned to the city, to their circle of communication with their peers. By evening, the car was loaded. We said goodbye to my parents, promising to come over for the weekend if possible, and went home. We drove in silence for a while, and then I turned to the children. So, my dears, let's play Romeo and Juliet, and that's enough. Otherwise, laziness was born before you, and you will not try to find your soul mate all your life. But I would like grandchildren, the successors of the surname. Dad, can't I have Alex's baby? That's not the point. So you will lock yourself in among yourself. You will live separately. We are not eternal. We'll leave, and you'll be alone. Well, with the children, and if any trouble happens, and they periodically visit everyone, there will be no one to help you. And if a partner is from the outside, then he also has parents and grandparents, and if anything happens, they will always come to the rescue. Dad, what if, for example, I get married and I want to come and stay with Alex? Or there, I'll have a fight with my husband. Then how? Then, as much as you want, just so that the husband does not find out. The main thing is that it does not harm your relationship in your husband's family. Great. I like it. But do you, Alex? It's fine, but I don't think I'm getting married soon. First, I need to find someone like Olivia so that I feel comfortable in her too. And what? You didn't stop loving me when I was in the hospital? Rebecca suddenly asked me. No, I didn't stop, and my soul has always been with you. It's just that you were sick of not feeling her in you. Wait, stop the car. It turns out that everything I did in the hospital in order to return your love, your soul to me, was in vain? And she couldn't come to me because she was already with me, but I didn't see her, didn't feel her? Yes, honey, that's right, and I've been waiting patiently for you to understand it. Get out of the car. The wife stood on the side of the road. Honey, I'm sorry. Tears glistened in her eyes. It's my fault. I made up all sorts of nonsense to explain to myself why my beloved locked me in the hospital. Rebecca, get up. No need. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. I did that there. It's a shame to remember. The word shame gave me a feeling of victory. Well, don't cry. Don't. It's all over. We are together, and I have never stopped loving you for a moment, I said, helping my wife to get up from her knees. And me, not for a moment. I know. Your mother told me that you were not allowed in until you threatened the prosecutor, and then I was immediately discharged. Cute. What a man you are. He pulled me out of such a swamp. That's it. That's it. I'm fine. Let's go, said the wife. I handed her a clean handkerchief, which every decent man always has in store just in case of such help to his lady. Rebecca blew her nose. The sound was loud, and we both laughed. The children looked at their mother in surprise, not believing their eyes and the miracle that had happened. Their mother cheerfully, as in the old days, got into the car, smiling happily, smartly fastened her seat belt and sighed. That's it. What are we standing for? Who are we waiting for? The rest is over. How I miss home. I smiled when I saw in the rearview mirror how the children immediately became sad, realizing that their favorite love activity was over, and their couple was no longer there, but only Alex's sister and brother and nothing more. All the way, Rebecca was asking the children about something, asking me what kind of mess she could expect at home. Oh, how beautiful you are, Rebecca. It just came alive. Because when we left, you just didn't have a face on, said the neighbor at our house. We were in the village. Fresh air. Oh, well done. Your own? No, neighbors, we only harvested brooms. We earn milk. Well, where are you stuck there? My wife called, carrying bags heading to the entrance of our house. I'm coming. I'll just close the car, I replied, and picked up my suitcases, hurrying to my beloved wife and children. That's how our story ended. The daughter found a real man for herself, but the son somehow had a harder time with it. Well, nothing. Time will tell.